Supreme Court has called out Ranveer Allahbadia's perversion, and Ranveer has been asked by the top court to submit his passport. Now, interim protection from arrest has been granted on the premise that full cooperation has to be given without any lawyer inside the police station. Let's go across to Rhythm, my colleague who's joining us on the phone line. Rhythm, the Supreme Court has clearly pulled up Ranveer Allahbadia, wrapped him with the strongest of words. Talk to us about the details that you're picking up.
I think the most important thing is how the Supreme Court has berated Ranveer Allahbadia for the comments he made. And the Supreme Court of India, when he questioned the Supreme Court, said this is obscene, there is something dirty in his mind which has been vomited on YouTube show. They expressed their displeasure on the remarks that he made. They also said it was extremely vulgar. The parameters of obscenity and vulgarity have been crossed. The Supreme Court also says such behavior has to be condemned. In fact, the words they used is, just because somebody thinks he has become so popular, can he speak any kind of words? Is there anyone on earth who will like this language? There is something dirty in his mind. His lawyer, Abhinav, tried to say that he's getting threats. The Supreme Court said if you can seek cheap publicity by using abusive language, then the person who's threatened you is extending the threat, also seeking publicity. They've said it's absolutely despicable what has been said. They've berated him. They've said his parents would also be ashamed of him. And the Supreme Court, as they stated this, has also clarified that subject to him appearing for the cases that have been filed in Assam and Mumbai, he will be getting the relief. That is no arrest, but this is only if he cooperates with the investigation. Let's make our viewers understand, therefore, this is conditional relief because his lawyer stated there are multiple FIRs being filed against him. The Supreme Court said as of now, the FIRs that have been filed, he will have to go and join the investigation. They were very angry with his lawyer when he said the lawyer had gone there and there was intimidation to the other accused. The court said, why had the lawyer gone? Because the process of law is when the police calls you to join an investigation, you don't send your lawyer. You're not that high and mighty. So the Supreme Court has called out the high and mightiness of Ranveer Allahbadia moving the Supreme Court, refusing to join the summons and trying to say that he wants relief. The Supreme Court said only if he joins the investigation, then he will not be arrested as long as he's cooperating with the investigation. The words the Supreme Court today has used, and I've seen many court hearings, this is one of the strongest admonishments by the top court of the country, where they say the words he used and chose, parents will be ashamed, sisters will be ashamed, entire society is ashamed, the pervert mind, the perversion that you and your henchmen have exhibited. Very strong words. The Supreme Court also, however, keeping in mind, have said if there are threats, law will take its cost. However, the Supreme Court was so angry. I was in that court hearing, and the Supreme Court spoke so much. Such observations were given out. They said that, what embarrassment you've caused to your parents. We got to know from where you've copied the questions. It was an international country. They said there are certain societies where they warn you, you're not supposed to watch these programs. They maintain precautions. However, the Supreme lawyer Abhinav tried to say there were subscribers. It was only a copy of a 10-second clip. But the Supreme Court did not hear that. Even as they said, all right, arrest of the petitioner in Maharashtra and Assam FIR is stayed, only subject to his direct investigation. They said he has to submit his passport and protection will be given to him, but orders are subject to him joining the probe.
Right, Rhythm. Now, the Supreme Court, of course, has come down heavily on Allahbadia, but there are other comedians also who now face FIRs. How do we see the investigation proceeding against them?
There will be an investigation by the Mumbai and the Assam police. Once they've come to clarity on what really transpired, they will be filing, after the FIR, a charge sheet in this case. The charge sheet will be filed after this. The case will go to trial. It will be a long-drawn process once it's at trial. But one thing is clear. If the Maharashtra police, the Maharashtra Cyber Cell, the Assam police that has also registered an FIR feel that this is a cogent case to file a charge sheet, and things are going to go spiraling down for the people who own the show as well as Ranveer Allahbadia. Because please understand, this is not only them. These are comments that have shocked the very nerve of Indian society. The Supreme Court, in fact, described his comments as being condemnable, reprehensible, dirty. They've said in the name of free speech, no one has the license to speak whatever they want against the norms of society. They asked him, do you have the license to say anything to give vent to your dirty mind? Why should you not go to Guwahati to defend yourself? They were extremely angry because he said, how can I go to Assam to face that FIR? The Supreme Court said, why can you not go to Guwahati if you can come to the Supreme Court? They also said the words chosen show a depraved mind. It will shame every parent, sister, mother. Let me also go across to Rahul Ishwar joining us on the phone line. Rahul, several times I have seen your words over the last few years when it comes to condemning such words like Allahbadia has said. Today, even as the Supreme Court gives conditional relief to him, Rahul, what the Supreme Court has said is his words are reprehensible. They will shame every parent, sister and mother. They've condemned it, and they've also said that he should ensure in this case that people do not misuse free speech.
Absolutely. As a complainant, I'm very happy for what Supreme Court did. Supreme Court has struck the right balance by granting him reprieve, but at the same point of time has schooled and educated and used the most scathing remarks in the recent judicial history. Supreme Court very rarely use words like dirt, or very rarely use such strong words like your words have shamed every parent, sister, mother. So it's very positive step. See, nobody wants to throw these youngsters in jail, but at the same point of time, they should learn the hard lesson, because millions and millions of our youngsters are watching these shows and they should not get wrong ideas. See, there are some Lakshmana Rekhas that no one should cross, whether it is family or every faith. Every faith should be respected, every family should be respected, and such kind of perverted joke with parents is absolutely horrible, and that's a line that no one should cross. I hope Supreme Court has guided our youngsters in a really good manner, and all the content creators in the orange economy will take note of this, and in future they will keep in mind that if they are crossing a line, we have a judicial system that will address them in the severest of manner.
Absolutely. And Rahul, I also want to draw the attention of the viewers and ask you this. The Supreme Court even questioned Abhinav Chandrachud in this case, who was the petitioner's lawyer, and said, are you defending the language he used? Even the petitioner's lawyer, Rahul, said, I am disgusted with the language. The Supreme Court said, what are the parameters of obscenity and vulgarity that are being used by him? It shows deprivation.
Absolutely, yes. And even a prominent advocate who is the son of a former Chief Justice had to face the wrath, because we all understand that is disgusting. There are no two ways about it. So there is no gray area in it. It is absolutely black. And we should take care that our youngsters don't follow model. And those who are also doing some kind of a cyberbullying and issuing death threat against Ranveer Allahbadia is doing the same mistake that he's doing. We should not bring his parents into this debate, because his parents are as sacred as anybody else's parents. So we should not bring them. No death threat. We should go the judicial way, teach them a lesson so that they will never follow this path. I hope they bounce back. They bounce back and do good content. But they should always remember their mind. There are some rekhas and some lines that nobody should cross. That is essential for the ethics, law and order of our society.